And we should be live. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Me and Michael are going to a tournament next weekend, Winter War. And we're talking about four interesting lists. And Michael, you got to pick them.
I did.
Um, what 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 was the criteria for what you picked out here?
Oh, I actually didn't check the lists. What I did was I decided from the players.
Nice.
I chose Benny because he always make fucked up lists that
Yeah.
nobody understands. So I kind of wanted to talk about it. I picked David because I kind of want to check that list out a little bit more with the whole flamer idea him and I have been discussing.
Yeah.
I picked Tor because I think Tor always builds very interesting lists. And then I built Caspar, because he built a list that he thinks is fun to play, whether it can win or not, and it actually does surprisingly well.
Yep.
So that was my criteria for the four lists I picked. Not
Perfect.
so much what was in the list, because other than when I checked the list, I haven't really looked at them.
Mm.
So I picked from the players. Yeah.
Then let's go from the players. David first. David
Oh, you're
often
starting with
plays
David.
Americans, right? He plays Americans all the time, and he was in our group the first person who really was got good at playing MSU, like multiple small units, and he still has a lot of those skills. So he has a high order dice count here, 22 order dice.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, and he calls it flamer spam. I'm not sure how much flamer spammy it is, but so he's bringing rifles, rifle platoon here, platoon commander, and just 6-man rifles. The 6-man, of course, because Americans, you get an extra dice per 3 men, so makes sense. Company commander, love those. Bazooka team, double light mortar, and jeep. Is the jeep, do you think, is that going to contain the bazooka or maybe
No,
the
no, no, no.
commander?
It's gonna be, well, depends. I think you're gonna see more transports, probably Armor 7,
Yep.
so he can actually get some of his flamers forward. Because
Mm,
it's coming. It's coming.
yeah. Then we get an engineer platoon, platoon commander, inexperienced, and then 3 veteran flame engineers here and 3 regular flamethrower teams. So that is 6 flamethrowers in the list. That's a lot of flamers.
Yeah, I see. I call that a spam, but maybe it's just me, though.
No, no, no. He
I call
calls it a
that a.
spam himself. Like
Yeah, I
the
do
list is
too.
called
I
flamer
do too.
spam.
I do too.
Yeah. This is
So,
barbecuing. This is
oh, it
really
is. It is.
yeah. And then he adds on top of that a little cherry. He puts a recce platoon with a couple of rangers here, 5-man squads because he couldn't find the points, an error observer, and then 3 white scout cars with recce.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and the White Scout cars can have, is it 7 in them?
Eight
I
man,
think.
8-man transport. So that's
Yeah,
quite a
eight
lot.
man transport. So that will fit a
Flamethrower team plus an engineer squad.
yeah. What was, how big are his engineer squads?
5-man.
Yeah, yeah. Then his oh, how is he gonna do that? See, I will. Oh, they're 5 men, right? They're not
Mm-hmm.
6 men. No.
But you can actually put an officer in each of the
Yeah,
white
that's
scout cars
he
as well.
needs to
Then.
have a he needs to have an officer in there. So he should have made him 5 men, because then he can have that and a flamer and an officer in there, including his platoon commander, which
Yep.
means
He can snap through
uh,
quite a lot of his army in one go if he wants
he can
to.
do 4 orders. He can
Yeah.
snap two,
Yeah.
a white scout car, an engineer team, a flamer, and another white scout car to
Yeah.
move forward.
Yeah.
So he's ready for the next assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and then if he puts a regular uh, commander in there, or
Hmm?
regular platoon leader, when it's its turn, he can then snap to the engineers and the flamer again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fire hell. I am
Yeah.
sure of it.
Yeah.
and Scout cars has armor 7 if I remember correctly.
They do,
Which
and they've got a forward-facing HMG as well, so they are
yeah,
also kind of deadly. I mean,
yeah.
an HMG is pretty good.
It's gonna hurt. That list is I like that list. We kind of saw a version of it in the VOV
Mm,
where David and I talked about it, and I was like, I think we can improve this, and
yeah,
David then built this afterwards where we talked about the whole thing about just blasting forwards with armor 7 cars and going nuts
yeah,
with flamer.
yeah,
David's biggest problem is that if he needs a 6, he rolls a 1. If he needs a 1, he rolls a 6. So all his flamers are going to be one-shot weapons.
yeah,
And if he's lucky, he's going to get 3 hits. That's on a
yeah,
good day for David.
yeah,
But the idea of it, if you are somebody like Mr. Six himself, Benny, this
yep.
would be harmful, really.
Yeah. It really would.
Yeah. See, this is a list where like the guys like the scouts that I
Mm,
play go up on objectives and hold them. He's gonna
yeah,
come and he's just gonna barbecue me off. I mean,
yeah.
and
The
and since
only
I
thing
can't,
I could think of to improve this list, I think, is to cut out one of the engineer squads, just one,
Mhm.
and then for those points, buy another air observer. So you have two, um, keeping the engineers and all that in the White Scout cars in reserve, and then have the air observer bombard the enemy for a bit until he's softened up enough for you to outflank or
Yeah,
reserve your barbecuing in.
I like the idea of it, but if you face the wrong guy who has a lot of autocannons, which basically
Yeah,
all have flak,
yeah,
you just wasted quite a lot
yeah,
of
true.
points. That's never gonna come in, and you are gonna see German lists, I'm sure, in the future with a lot of flak, with a lot
Yeah,
of autocannons. And
that is true.
if you run into a flak feeling or a flak trailing, and there's two or three of them, even four,
Hmm.
your airplanes are never gonna get in. I
Yeah,
mean, never. So you have to take them off the board before you can use your planes.
yeah,
So yeah, I like it. I like the fact that I don't know if you probably could settle for one engineer squad, but on the other hand, the fact that you can make that run,
mm,
so all of a sudden you're halfway up the board, that's gonna help you.
it
I'm
is.
sure because
Yeah,
that will actually do so you get a chance to offset some of the infiltrators. Maybe not the scouts; they might be too powerful, especially if they gather up a little bit for you to run
yeah,
an engine a ranger squad up. But anybody else who wants to settle a smaller squad that can infiltrate on an objective, you can offset it with a ranger squad. So
yeah,
I like the whole, being 24 inches in, huge amount of dice, which means he has a good chance of getting the first dice, which if he does that, he's gonna hurt.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
if you are going to go a push like that with Rangers, you need a fairly high order dice count. But that
oh
also
you do.
means, of course, that you're going to lose a lot of dice over the tournament.
Oh you are.
Um, yeah.
But luckily that we there's I haven't been at a tournament yet where you don't play Russian style and don't care about
Mm,
men.
mm.
I mean, most American wars, as soon as some of the Americans come home in a body bag,
Yeah, that's it.
they start demonstrating and don't want to stop the war. But in
Yeah,
here, just let them die. I mean,
yeah,
your guys don't matter.
yeah,
It's only your kill dice that counts, which is kind of
yeah.
sad. It should be an offset of the two.
Yeah, it really
But
should.
but 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 no tournament does it. So that's why you can build a high dice count list and don't care about it.
True. Right. Then you said Caspar.
Yes.
And here he is. This is Kaspar's Italian Winter War list. This is another very interesting list. I agree. 19 order dice. And he brings a platoon commander, Paraticis, with Panzerfaust, and lots of Daka in so a couple of rifles, and the rest assault rifles, submachine guns, and stuff. just a lot of shots coming out of this one unit. A lot of different ranges as well, but that also means that he can shoot you at 24, or he can blast you off in point blank range. Company commander, another platoon commander. This is for a recce platoon. Paratuchichis, again, set up the same way. Assault rifle, submachine guns, Faust. Artillery observer. I never really understood this one, but it's a lot of pins that you.
No. It's because if he doesn't hit, if it doesn't
Yeah.
come in, he can re-roll.
Ah, true.
It's an Italian rule, so he's almost sure to get. He gets 2 rolls to roll a 4, 5, and a 6. So that's why it's there. It's because
That's
he gets the re-roll.
75% sure of getting what he wants. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
it's just very good for him to try and soften you up with all his Sarianas.
yeah. And then we get the light trucks. These are actually Sahariana versions that are just transport trucks, 8-man transport. So he can put his Paratuchichis and an officer in, and they've got a pintle-mounted MMG. 3 of those, and then an armored platoon.
And they have, as far as I know, they have recce. I don't see it on his list.
Because they're in the recce platoon.
Oh, so. yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Did he pay for it?
Yeah.
Cheating bastard.
He's actually got 4, not 3. Yes, I think I said 3. And then Saharianas, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those as well. And the Saharian is just so good. Light autocannon and an MMG as well. So you can split fire. I think in version 2 you could even equip these with extra machine guns.
You could do all kinds really of good. Nice stuff with them.
Yeah. And all the flak here.
The biggest problem with the vehicles is that they're all armor 6, so they drop like flies.
Yeah, they are all soft-skinned. So that's his biggest hurdle. But I think he's fairly confident as well, because we've already said that this tournament is going to have more terrain, and he needs terrain to hide behind, right? He needs to.
But he also needs to be able to maneuver, which can be difficult in wheeled. So I mean,
that is the biggest problem.
We played a game, Casper and I, where I faced this list, and as I told you, we need to start doing so. You have 3 or 4 inches in your deployment zone edge, which is and has to be terrain free.
Yeah.
Because in the game we played, in the first game we rolled, I put up a scout team 5-man on an edge, and it was the one you have where you have to get to the other guy's zone.
Yeah.
Of course, the board didn't work for the game, but Casper liked the board and wanted to play it. It was a really bad board for him, but there was like a pier, and I could put him on that pier, and he could never get out of that zone. Never, just because I could infiltrate and put 5-man up at his border.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can actually, if you have forward deployment, if I make a pure scout squad, I can actually cover basically your whole back line, and you can never come in. The game is lost before we roll the first die because you can't get through me, which is one of the things I don't understand why you haven't changed. That it's okay, your opponent puts it up on the back line, but when you drive in or when you run in, if there is no room for him, it is an automatic assault.
Yep, it should be.
So either you drive a tank through you and you have to make the roll because he can't fit. If he can fit, he's not allowed to.
Yeah.
But the second you start to use the rules to make sure you block off your opponent and you are on the edge or close enough that he cannot fit, it should be an automatic assault or an automatic tank assault. I don't care. Get a chance to run your opponent over.
Yeah.
Because it can't be for real that you can block off a game. And we've seen people do this.
Yes.
You outflank.
Yes. Yeah.
And they take a squad and put all the way up the line so you can never get in.
Just make a long line and you can block a whole flank.
It's for me, it's cannot be the meaning of the game that you can close off like that. And now that they buffed up Infiltrator, which it is a buff up, but it's also a nerf. Because
how
you can, it's very simple because I've played the games where I went all scouts,
Yeah.
And the infiltrator is awesome. But when you have the company commander, the first dice your opponent gets, your scouts are screwed because
Yep.
he's going to attack you with 5 units. And you do not have a scout leader. You do not
Mm.
have a guy up there with the scouts. So you have to offset that. But
Yep.
that means you need the first round you only can set up. You can't get him up there and use him because you
Mm.
can't move him and use the commander afterwards to make sort of it. So you're basically putting your scouts in a situation where if the other guy has the weapons for it, they're gonna get creamed before you get there.
Yep.
So the fact that you can do it, which makes people do it, including myself, even though I don't do bloodlust, but I look at it and say, okay, I can control, I can do this, but then somebody figures something out that's very clever, and he fucks me on it because
Mm.
when you're up there, you have put your men up without support, and that is
Yeah.
always dangerous.
It
Now,
is.
before where you could put him in the middle, he couldn't really get to you, and you had time to maneuver them. But if you put him in his zone, you don't. So
Mm.
it is a huge advantage, but you can lose games on it, and I've done
Yeah.
it. And the games where you can infiltrate, you lose 9 out of 10 because you do not have any range. You get shot to
Yeah.
pieces before you ever get there.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
that's the main drawback. This was a little bit of a sidetrack though, because
Oh yeah, sorry, but yeah,
Casper's final platoon, fourth platoon, is a heavy weapons platoon with 2 regular light mortars. He's using the mortar trick, buying these regular because he can use his air observer as his spotter. This is really clever. Although I don't think it really fits with the theme of everything else being very maneuverable in the list, but it's very nice to have something where he can just zero in on that one annoying ambush piece, an
yes.
AA gun or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Um, I
But
really like this list. I really hope he does
it,
well. I don't think he
it
will, but and
well,
I think
I sorry, Casper, but the reason why this list doesn't do well is the
soft
player.
skinned.
No, no, because you can play this list. I've seen Casper play it, and he's getting better at it. But as always, Casper forgets to have a plan. Casper reacts
Nah,
to what you
I
do.
don't believe that.
But yeah, if he gets because his men are
Hmm,
strong enough. The veteran guys or the guys in there, I actually think they're regular. It doesn't matter. They're strong enough to
yeah,
do damage. His vehicles um, are rough, and he uses his commanders good because they're all in the trucks with him.
yep. So he
So,
can
but if you
again
get
snap to
yeah,
trick that we talked about before. Yeah,
but if you start punching a hole in them, they're gonna drop like flies.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that for me is the thing here. It's really cool. It's got the recce. It's very good skirmishing list. This list can really like move back and forth and shoot a bit, but it hasn't got staying power. It really hasn't.
No,
If it
no, it,
starts
it
taking
doesn't.
casualties, it
Yeah,
just falls apart.
it does. It does. And that is his biggest issue. That is the fact that it's
But
armor 6. And I honestly think they made the armor 6 too vulnerable. You
yeah,
don't even
he
have
is.
to roll on the list anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
at least you should kill it like you do anything else. So
yeah,
you might blow out 2 tires and it can't move anymore or whatever. But it just if you roll 1 6, it's out over.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think it's rough. I think it's they
It
nerfed
really is.
the
Yeah,
wheel too much.
yeah. Right. So Benny unfortunately had a very weird way of sending in his list. I don't know. Benny doesn't use. He uses the books, which is okay. So, but some of this is in Danish, so I'll have to translate a little bit for the guys at home.
Benny probably knows the books by heart. He doesn't have to
Yeah, he
look it
does.
up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. So he brings rifle platoons. And they're exactly the same. He has 2 rifle platoons, and they're exactly the same. So he's got inexperienced commanders with SMGs, 21 points. He's got 4 5-man regular infantry dudes with an LMG, so backline holders. That means if that's a lot of LMG shots coming out of his backline, right? And
Yeah.
then 2 artillery observers with SMGs as well. So that's bombardment aided by LMG fire. and then 4 inexperienced light mortars. This is a really good. I'm sitting back and I'm just bombarding you until you do something.
This
Right.
is this is one of Benny's normal sixer lists.
Yeah, it is. He
And
rolls for
and
sixes.
and
Yeah,
if he gets it going, I
yeah,
mean this list is not going to be fun to face. But all he
no,
needs is one game where the dice ain't with him. This list is going to be fucked.
yeah.
I
And
I,
here
I
comes
mean,
the next bit because he's
yeah,
not done with us yet.
no,
Because he brings an artillery platoon with an inexperienced commander, SMG, 3 regular heavy autocannons, and an inexperienced Nebelwerfer and a horse-drawn limber to pull it in. I mean, that's atrocious. That is, imagine being on an open board facing this.
oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, I would cry so hard.
You would just die. I mean, you would never get half off the table before
It's gonna
your
hurt
men
so
are dead.
much.
Yeah, you can never get to him.
He's got 2 artillery observers. He's got all them light mortars and all the LMGs and the autocannons, and everything is
Yeah,
just bombarding you
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. And it gets worse because 3 regular heavy autocannons is not enough. He brings 4 more because he brings a tank platoon with 4 regular Nimrods. So, one of them being the tank commander. And
Yeah,
a Nimrod is open topped and it has a heavy autocannon. So that is 7 heavy autocannons facing you.
yeah. It's
Along with
ridiculous.
the Panzer III, by the way.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, I can
23 order dice.
I can. I mean, if he just gets some lines, I think this list is gonna be impossible to play against.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you can get to him, if you can get down where it hurts, because he has to win on his autocannons
Yeah.
and his
And
artillery
he has to
observers.
win at range, right?
Yeah,
Because he can't really push his infantry forward.
no,
Not
no,
well, anyway.
no. He
Um,
has to take you out before
yeah.
he moves them up. And I think lists like Torben or mine with the scouts, he can get a problem with those because he has to hide his forward artillery observers, or the scouts
Yeah.
will just go in and kill him. And the only thing the scouts are really afraid of is the autocannons.
Yeah.
But if there is any kind of heavy cover, I mean, personally, I don't care about autocannons when I have heavy cover,
Yeah.
because if I haven't moved before you shoot, I save on a 2
Yeah.
just from standing there.
Mm.
Because I get +2 and 1 for infiltration. I start at 5, so
Mm.
basically I'm at 2 and a 3, and I can go down. Then I'm at a 2. I mean, I won't lose a lot of men even if he kills
No.
them all. I've
No.
done it before, so if I can get to him, he
Mm.
will have issues. But if you don't have a list that can get to him, you're
It's
fucked.
gonna be really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And because it's Hungarians, I mean, isn't the Hungarian rule something about you not being able to outflank or something like that? And I
No,
mean
no, no. That's Bulgarian, I think.
that Bulgarians, okay.
Hungarian, I think has isn't that the one where you can give your tanks recce and you can recce forward? I don't remember.
No. But
But he
anywho,
hasn't put down
it's
any special rules, so I guess he doesn't have any.
yeah, Benny, if you don't put down your special rules, you don't have
It
none.
should be here somehow. We should know what it is, because I
True.
think as a minor nation, you have they kind of made it all generic somehow, and you can choose
Mm,
or whatever. He didn't put
yeah,
anything down, so we'll ask him before the tournament starts if he
yeah.
wants him or if he's just playing without.
But that is, and for me, that is one of the lists that potentially could go and win this tournament. It's
It
just, it's really
I
hard.
agree. I agree, especially if he can see anything and he rolls his sixes, as
Oh, yeah,
Benny do.
as Benny does. And then we have Thor. Thor is, of course, our great young hope. He's very young. And and he has made a huge splash when he first entered Bold Action World um, by doing really well, including winning against yourself.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got barbecued to hell. I mean,
Yep.
there was nothing to do. I
And
mean,
he is bringing.
he almost got a draw just because he was too slow to push forward. But no, he barbecued me. There was everything was on fire. And
Yeah,
what I like about Thor is he builds his own shit. He doesn't
yeah,
really listen to anybody. He will
yeah,
bring a huge ass tank because he likes it,
yeah,
and he plays well with him.
yeah. That is so cool. I
I
mean,
like that.
yeah,
He's not
and
just
and
sitting here watching some idiot named Bo's
nope,
videos and building
nope,
whatever he says. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I like Thor alone for that.
yeah,
That he's his own man, even if he's
yeah,
only what 17. I like
yeah.
that. Good for you, Thor.
That's
Keep
so
doing it.
so cool, and he's bringing 32 order dice in
Mm,
1250.
holy
30.
shit! I had not seen that. That is ridiculous. Holy crap, Thor! What have you done?
Whoever plays Thor is not going to be able to play because Thor is just going to be pulling his own order dice out of that bag for 10 turns in a row until you get to something.
Against him. I mean, you have to kind of go. Okay, I'll just stand back here until he's done what he's done, and I'll see if I get to do anything.
Yeah,
Oh, they
exactly.
gotta be weak as hell. Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
they are. Because look at this. He brings a rifle platoon, inexperienced commander, and then inexperienced infantry with VB launchers. So basically, that's a UFO platoon. It's 4 men with a light mortar, 18-inch light mortar.
What?
They're weak as crap. Company commander, inexperienced. Artillery observer, regular. French, I can get that. Right, it's the same with the Brits. Sniper team, maybe not. Boys anti-tank rifle. So it's MSU when it's worst. Light mortars again, that means he's got 5 light mortars at this point. And then an open top carrier. I don't think he needs this, but
No.
he has some transport if he wants to. Another platoon, again, inexperienced commander, rifle sections, these with light machine guns and regular, so he can actually shoot you. But again, very small sections, 4 men, right? He's taking maximum advantage here. 4 men sections. Another forward artillery observer. So that's double up on the bombardment. He's bringing all those
That
mortars that will shoot
he
you
get
and then
he,
bombard you
he
at the same time.
he gets 2 shots, right? Like the British. Yeah.
Yeah. A sniper team, an anti-tank rifle team, more light mortars, so that's 9 light mortars at this point. And then he brings the Renault FTs. Because for 30
Pitifully
points,
slow.
for 30 points, you get something that is 7 plus and has 3 shots with its MMG. 30 points. I mean, this is just brilliant. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. 5 Renaults, pitifully slow, 1 man turret. So he's not moving. He's just sitting there going dagger, 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 dagger. And then an artillery platoon, platoon commander, AA guns, 2 of those, rotating platform. Beautiful. Again, 35 points. He's got so much stuff. Platoon number 5, heavy weapons, inexperienced platoon commander, and 2 more light mortars. This is my UFO list made better. This is 9, it's 11 light mortars, and he's got so much direct fire. He's gonna. I don't know. Wow.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. It's so insane. And I mean, a lot of it is going to die because every
Oh,
time something shoots, but he's going to go down with everything that you shoot at, and he'll still have 10
oh.
units that can shoot at you at the end of your shots.
Okay, I guarantee you that both Torben, Davids, and I would love to take on this list because the fact that we can put somewhere between 20 and 30 veterans with SMGs
Mm-hmm.
right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those 32 dice are going to be nothing in no time.
Yeah.
All we need is some kind of cover so we get our saves, and
Yep.
we will demolish this. And
Yep.
when we are close to him, he can't use his artillery observers. And if you take them out, Yeah, but 32 dice.
Yep. It's
He has
insane.
almost twice the dice I have. Almost. I mean, shit. He
Yeah.
might actually pin my scouts out before they get to do anything.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
With this amount of direct fire, he can actually take out veteran units at least once a turn,
But
just from pins.
the problem for him is that he has to have so many dice on the board
Yeah.
that with multi launchers or
Yeah.
other artillery observers,
Oh, yeah.
he is gonna get bombarded to hell. That is the
Yeah.
biggest issue with the horde list is
Yeah.
you have too many things on the table, even if you put half in reserve. If he puts half in reserve, they might not get in because they get minuses
Mm-hmm.
from getting in, and most of it is inexperienced. But Tor, I tip my hat to you once again. I knew you would. I hadn't even seen you put 32 order dice in, but holy crap! Once again, you built something we haven't seen, and I
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
Good for
Yep.
you.
It's
And
different. It's new. It's just, oh man, it's good.
he will. I have no doubt the kid will do well.
Yep.
Somehow he always does well.
Yep.
I mean, so I have no doubt that this list will work for him somehow. I mean, yeah, I have no doubt. It's awesome. I think it was Thor at the Jutland Open who had an Armor 11 tank.
Yep.
Where I mean,
But this also means that he's doing very different things from time to time, right?
he does. He never. See, I like that too because I like changing up, playing different
Mm.
nations and all that
Mm.
crap. I mean, I'm still trying to get the scouts to work. I don't. I honestly don't think they will. But I can't help but try. So I made a new game plan. But yeah, his list again. I mean, if he hadn't failed a morale roll on a flamer where I just made a hail mary, I couldn't stop that stupid tank. I couldn't scratch it.
Mm.
Not even my flamers could. And he failed to roll on a 10 or something, and it ran off. That was what I won on. Otherwise, I couldn't
Yeah.
stop it. So I like the way he builds lists. I really do. But 32 order dice, Thor. Come on, man. You know we only have a couple of hours for a game, dude. We're gonna do turn two, and you.
Well, at least he brings a company commander, so he can snap 4 of them at one. At
Well,
once.
even if yeah, okay. He snaps 2-4, and he has 27 left. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
look again. I like that he did it because I'm pretty sure he also realized that most tournaments he's going to go to, people are going to put a dice cap of
Mm-hmm.
24, which is kind of sad because we don't get to see shit like this. And
Yep.
this is awesome. I mean, is it a good list? I
Maybe
would
not.
say no, but I don't know because if he gets going with 32 order dice, I think that the next I think Benny built one with 23. I don't think we'll
Mm.
see many above 23. So he's ahead with at least 9 of
Yep.
every opponent. And
23 is the highest any other order dice
yeah,
has. Any other list has.
and I think the lowest is at what 17,
The lowest is lower
18,
than that. 14.
14.
14. We have. Yeah.
That's 18 times he might do something before you even get to move.
Yep.
Come on now. And we don't get to see this. So I love that he did it. I'm kind of jealous that I didn't do something like it because when are you ever else going to get to build this many units in a list?
Yep.
Because these stupid TOs want to tell people what they can and cannot do, which I hate. Let people build whatever they want and we'll take it from there. And if people start building hortlets, get some chess clocks in there and give them some
Mm.
time because they have, when you have 32, you have to do it fast. You don't have time
You
to think.
really have. But I think
Your
Tor
time
could
runs.
potentially do this fast because, I mean,
Oh,
it's
Tor
pretty
plays
easy.
fast.
Go on ambush, go on ambush, go on ambush.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Well, he plays fast too. I mean, I've never had an issue with him dragging time or anything. But yeah, I like that we see a list like this. I'm happy I picked him. I hadn't noticed, but I'm happy I picked him because we just don't
I'm very
see this
happy
shit.
about it too. Yeah, that was the 4 lists that we had for you today. And we'll get back to you once we've had Winter War. Potentially, me and Michael will go and look at more lists at some point. But that was it for today. I will see you next time. Thank you, Michael, for
I
joining.
oh, you're just gonna quit here in the middle of everything. I think after when we played Winter Wars, we should make a video where we talk about our
The
opponents' lists.
lessons. Yeah,
Yeah, about our opponents' list, what went wrong, what went well, and see because hope see who we face. That could be
yep,
fun. Yeah.
that would be
Then I
fun.
get to trash my opponents, especially if they beat me, and I like that.
But that means you have to take pictures, Michael. Have to take pictures of your game so we have something to show people.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Every game I play, you stream, you have all the pictures you need.
Oh
Bada
yeah.
bing, bada boom. Done.
Right.
See, I don't
Okay.
even take pictures on vacation. Come on now. Shit. Later,
Cheers,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.